Welcome to Dicejunkies, and this is Random Encounters. Ignore the man behind the curtain. I'm here with
Q.
Damien.
and I'm Xenodamus. Hope you enjoy. All right, well let's roll on the Random Encounters and get this going.
Who went first last week?
I think I did. So,
Am I up again?
Yeah, go ahead,
Go
Q.
ahead, Q.
Let's go with black and gold. 9.
9 is a favorite book
Antagonist. I like it. All right, so we're going to pick out our favorite villain from a novel, huh?
Yeah.
Man, the biggest problem is being a guy who's read so many books, having to nail it down to one. But
I hear you.
like, as I stop and I start rolling through this big list, you know what? Because of how much I enjoyed Shadows of Mordor, it made me go back and do another look. And despite his low appearance in the book, really, I kind of say Sauron really amazed me because
Going
of
so mainstream.
Well, I mean, you know, I got a new
that's
appreciation for it after I went back and I played the game, and I realized something about Sauron that's unique. He doesn't monologue. He doesn't spit all day. He's just a freaking presence that is dreaded and feared throughout the books. And it's amazing how he's just this thing that everybody's afraid of, everybody's fearing, and no cheap tricks. Like I said, he isn't running around like, oh, look, I murdered all your friends to build up aggro. No, he's just an overwhelming threat. He's a force of nature. I mean, to me, there's been a lot of books that have tried to have a Satan, but not many books have managed to do this just overwhelming evil almost existence like they did there. Through his minions, you feared him. But it was Sauron behind the ring race and everything that was the source of that fear. And I just, like, every time I see him, especially visually, but even in the books, every time they mention the servants of Sauron, you know, they just extend his evil out there. I mean, he's the great big bad. When I think big bad, the eye man, you know, Sauron was the big bad. He didn't have to show off. You knew he was a badass, and you knew to fear him.
Well, I mean, then you can just imagine the fear that his boss caused. Morgoth.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Sauron is nothing but a fallen angel. He's fucking Satan.
Oh, no,
Sauron.
there's another
There it
tier.
went. But he's Satan. You know, he is a fallen angel. Morgoth was his boss. But yes,
Yeah.
Sauron, it's just a palpable fear.
Yeah, throughout the whole book.
But you see, when he was still fair, you know, before he really came into his power and he walked around and he convinced all the people, he was very charismatic with it. And then that's what they remember, you know, that he was very charismatic, and now he's just this all-encompassing evil.
And like I said, he's obviously a Satan analog, and he pulls it off because it's through, like I said, every time something bad happens. Just the fact that Saruman switched sides. Like, he was such an impressive evil that Saruman's like, I freaking folded. It's amazing, but you know, they don't play it out, though.
Yeah, it's amazing because Saruman, basically, in the scheme of things, Saruman and Gandalf are the same rank as Sauron.
Yes. But
They're all angels.
You know what it is, too? But now we'll move on to someone else. But, like, I just remember that's the other thing about it, though. You know how they say what you imagine is worse? How we talked about the monster you don't see? That's the other thing that made him so palpable. They didn't spoil Saruman by explaining everything about him. He was just this overwhelming evil. Everybody's like, you don't screw with Sauron, me. And he was just always present. And even in the end, he didn't make a flashy appearance. It's just, we got rid of him before he actually got serious. And what you imagine is usually scarier. And that's, I think, the other thing is everybody in their mind has their own version of Sauron, I think, in their head. And that's what made him. My version's horrible.
Damien?
Artemis and Cherry.
Yeah,
He
antagonist.
was an assassin, and he was pitted against Drizzt Do'Urden. And that is some of the best fight scenes. That is some of the best written evil person.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he is my number one antagonist.
And he was
down.
the first time that you saw Drizzt. Even Drizzt's reaction, like, I just got
Oh, yeah.
blocked. Wait a minute. What just happened? Because, like, Driz is like, I'm going to cut this guy to pieces. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, crap.
They fought each other to a standstill, man. What's not to like?
And the extra part, Artemis is human. He ain't 100 years old.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been doing this for 30 years, man. You're
Yeah.
a drow from the Underdark. You've been wandering. Yeah. Guess what? Human assassin. Fought you to a standstill.
And the fact that there was a pasha that was giving him a lot of problems, or not a pasha. He was working for a pasha, and there was a rival that he had, and he wanted to get him out of the way. But he had taste testers, and he had he would drink potions so he wouldn't be poisoned and stuff. So Artemis baked him a cake, and it was filled with nothing but crushed glass in the cake mix. And the dude had the poison. He drank his potion for the poison, and he ate the whole cake. And all that crushed glass just freaking killed him agonizingly over days.
Remember the high-level wizard he took out that he's like, yeah, you're a high-level wizard, but you forgot that a knife you don't see coming doesn't give a flip. Like, he was awesome. And the
I
first time he fought
love it.
Drizzt, he didn't even have an artifact. Like, he didn't have a twinkle. He went and got the dagger later, but at first he fought off Drizzt with, like, basic blades. Then he said, I need a better weapon. This dude's well-equipped. That was skill. I love the character. I agree 100%.
Let's see. Mine would probably be now. This character is actually the antagonist of many books, but in this particular book that I'm thinking of, I think his portrayal was quite awesome, and it's Satan from On a Pale Horse. Like the way he manipulates things, and as you're reading the book, and it's like, oh crap. Didn't see that trap coming and all this stuff. Like, the betrayal of Satan on a Pale's Horse was just this, strategic mastermind. Just, all these different twists and turns where it's like, oh, no, he didn't,
I gotta admit that, Piers Anthony presented a incredible mastermind of the big bad evil. Literally, like, has the job. Because that whole series is awesome for that.
Yeah.
Like, the guy that had the job knew his stuff. And I'll admit that his plots were designed so that all the other powers together were like, we can't do crap. He's
They've got us locked down at every turn. Like, it's like, well, dang it, I thought I was defying him at the most, and ended up just walking right into his trap. And it was so well done. So well done.
I like our diversity there, because we've got, like, the poppable, unknowable evil, the mastermind, and then we have just the raw skill, so that's awesome.
So,
I believe who's up next?
I guess that would be me. Alrighty. 6. Portable versus console. So yeah, I'm not a portable guy. Like, I have a DS that I played. Let's see, I bought it because I had some other friends that were playing some games that looked interesting on the DS and were doing some cool things, and I got it. Played with it for about 3-4 months, and just totally forgot about it.
Literally like, oh wait, I have a DS.
Well, the thing is there were some good RPGs, like the JRPGs. Like, it gets a lot of good JRPGs on portable that you can't get anywhere else. And I was trying that out because there were several out that I wanted to play. And I did play a couple of them, and they were fun. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't care for portable.
With me, I'm a firm believer. You know me, I hate people playing on their phone and stuff when they're out in public. I'm a firm believer that gaming's an at-home activity. So I don't do portables because I'm like, if I'm out, man, we're Dicejunkies. We freaking socialize, man. We're people persons. So we're like, hey, we're not going to be out in the middle of a place playing it. But if I'm at home, I'm not going to play a portable. I got a freaking PC. So I don't see the purpose.
Yeah, well, and I guess that was part of my driven to portable was, like, I was going to this anime night with a group of our friends, and everybody there had this portable, and it's just like, I came there to socialize, and...
So I stopped going. It's like, I would look up, and everybody's, like, on Harvest Moon or something. I'm like, or Pokemon.
So and when they did talk, they weren't talking about anime, they were talking about the games on their portable devices. So I was like, well, let me get one of these things and maybe, but it wasn't worth it. And I mean, I'm not even a big console person, but I'd go with console over portable. Me, I'm PC, but
Well, yeah, I mean, you can have a console as a side, but I mean, PC is where it's at.
yeah.
I also own a console. It turns on every now and then.
Well, I mean, similar to the reason I got the portable is a similar reason why I got the console, and that's the fact of exclusivity in games.
I got an Xbox. You got a PS4. I'm still think I got the raw end of that deal when it comes to exclusive content.
Yeah.
I should have talked you into swapping that, but
You bought the Xbox on your own, man.
I like Xbox, but I didn't know they were going to get any of your friggin' exclusive content worth playing.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about this, before we go to David, is going to say is that now one thing about this that drives me crazy is Kingdom Hearts. I can't stand games that will put a sequel to their game exclusively on portable. I love Kingdom Hearts, but they keep putting story-relevant games that literally are part of the story on the portable devices I don't own.
At least they realized their mistake, and they did end up bringing the portable games to a collection that you could play on the console.
Yeah, they did eventually, and I mean, you're playing through that now, I believe, the full set. Mm-hmm. But man, at the time, it was like it almost turned me off to the whole series because I got so mad that it's like, hey, the next game's coming out. It's on. I don't even think they put it on the same portable device every time. I'm almost sure at one point they put it on this portable device, and another point they put it on like went to Sony on one and Nintendo on another, something weird. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm fine listening to you guys. I had an original Game Boy, and I'm just going to tell you, I wasn't old then.
There was a time
But I
you weren't
still,
old.
shut up. But I still had to get that device that you would slide over the Game Boy to magnify the screen so I could see. Dude, I've been a sniper, okay? I can see everything. But I have to get a magnifying glass to play a Game Boy, and I am 25 years old?
Yeah.
No.
Dude,
Wait, Pat,
I
you were
was
25 years old when Game Boy came out? You are old.
No, I wasn't 25. Man,
Yeah, man, I remember having my having a Game Boy and having to get the little magnifying glass as well because it was tiny, that original
yeah,
Game Boy.
it was like 2 inches by 3 inches or something.
I just went blind like a real man. That's why I needed glasses. Just squinted my eyes, and I still can't see now.
But the thing that irritates me is I'm kind of with you guys on some things, but like I play Final Fantasy Tactics on my PS1. I love that game. I want to see that game come to my PC in some form or another, not a portable or not my phone. Because I don't want to play it on a little screen. I want to play it on my PC.
Yeah, Tactics 2, I think, came out on portable. That's why I never got to play it.
They have never, ever done anything else on a console.
And I mean, I love Final Fantasy Tactics. I was like,
Final Fantasy Tactics 2?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Final Fantasy
It's got
Tactics,
a weird story now. It's got a weird story. But still, it's Tactics.
It was that was still one of my favorite all-time games is Final Fantasy Tactics. And I can't play it because it's not interchangeable.
They put some interesting Zeldas on the portable that we
Yeah,
never
yeah.
got because
I remember several Zelda games that I had. That few I haven't played are the ones on portable. But yeah, that whole Ivalice, the whole Final Fantasy Tactics, several of the sequel games on consoles now were based on the portable Final Fantasy Tactics world. Yet that's where I think the Rabbit people came in and the judges. But you won't know the origins if you didn't play portable, so you got to go like me and wiki it.
Yeah, and that's just not. So if I had to choose, it would be console.
yeah.
Console
There you
all
go.
the way.
All right.
All right.
4, video game crafting. So crafting systems within video games.
I think in the distant past we've discussed something similar to this because we've talked about games and stuff, and one of and I'm probably gonna.
Well, I know we talked about some with the RNG
RNG,
and
yeah.
stuff like
and
that.
we brought up crafting systems and stuff.
But as far as just the best crafting system, it still to me is Skyrim. I love that crafting system.
You really, okay.
I like the fact that I go out and I mine materials, or I kill animals and I get materials, and I can go back. Now just taking these materials and going to it and clicking on it, and that's that, But it's still the fact that I get to go out, even with potions. I get to go out, I get to gather all the ingredients, especially with alchemy. I get to go gather all the ingredients, and if I don't know what they are, there's processes that I have to take to learn what they are, and then I can make what I want. And I think now to go just a little bit step further than that, the better system was Morrowind.
Yeah.
That was the better system. But Skyrim is our up-to-date game, basically, and that's still that same.
I would have liked to have seen it more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did not think it was an in-depth enough crafting system. Like, I mean, at least if you go into Elder Scrolls Online, I thought that was more in-depth, and you had more of a selection. You had those where you could go to certain magical areas and get, like, certain abilities crafted on, but you had to take that journey to that area. So I thought that, it had some extra aspects that you didn't have with...
I'm going to go a little different direction, because when I see video game crafting, I think about just the rules of crafting. And I favor systems that lean toward Fallout 4. Not Fallout 4 just specifically, but the concept of this. As immersive as it was, I really don't want to forge 100 daggers. I kind of like the perk-based systems that have crafting. While I like that other thing, I kind of like the ability to go, I can put the point into improving my crafting without having to sit up all day making 100 of this item in order to level this skill. So if I had to choose a crafting system I like the ones where I put a perk in to improve my crafting. I still have to go through the crafting, go to the place, and I love the sites. Beautiful. Gathering my own materials, but the repetition takes the fun out of it after a while. Because I'm so obsessive, I don't leave the first location in Skyrim, that first area, until I've gotten my smithing to like 50. You know how long that takes? Like, that's just an extensive process. So I prefer crafting systems where it has an in-depth crafting system, but it does not require repetition in order to level up the skill. I prefer a perk or attribute-based even. I can live with attribute-based because I raise my attributes naturally. And it goes like, oh, you got minimum attributes to craft this.
I actually like, as far as the style goes, the repetition-based more so, just out of realism. If I constantly, if I want to be able to make good iron daggers, I probably need to make several iron daggers before I get my skill up.
Yeah.
Hey, I loved it the first time through Skyrim.
That's just sort of realistic that you would need that repetition.
That repetition, yeah.
Now, the fact that I could make 1,000 of them and end up maxing out my skill, that's probably, not a good idea. I haven't seen the perfect crafting system, obviously, but I do enjoy crafting systems in general. A lot more than pure RNG or pure purchasing, and having to go find stuff. Having that extra element of being able to create stuff, especially a creation system as in depth as Morrowind, where you could actually play with that combinations and come up with stuff that was almost unique, in their abilities. We haven't seen something like that in a while, but also it was broken because that's
when you got really good and you could get everything that you needed, you
But it was broken only if you chose to. That's what I like about it. It wasn't like the game was broken. It was just, do you want to experiment and try to create the perfect weapon?
Well, yeah.
But being able to create the perfect weapon really felt unique to me. It's like, I made this incredible sword. I did it. Me. I said everything right. Way more different than just finding a broken weapon.
I think we've also discussed this before. It's a single-player game, so broken doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
To me, broken is not really that consequential in a single-player game because you choose. You're having fun. The whole concept of a single-player game is for you to have fun and to do whatever the heck you want, and there's nobody there to complain to say you cheated or broke any kind of rules,
I will say this is 100% true. There's almost no game that's not improved by at least some degree of crafting.
Yes.
Crafting adds personalization, it adds fun, and especially in mini games, it almost makes sense. It's almost dumb for it not to be in there. So I'm pro crafting. Like one of the things, again, I keep going back to Fallout 4 I love, is my ability to craft equipment for my companions that I could go and it's like, I'm going to make this for Piper. And this, I want her to have this. And I literally pick the parameters, radiation resistance, whatever, and go here. And that to me add a personal touch that I love. Upgrading my allies' weapons was bonding. It's like, hey man, let me fix your gun, man. Give me that. Here you go.
Well, in crafting, I like the aspect of crafting in Fallout, as you also were crafting not just weapons and not items, but you were actually crafting material to build up your camp and all that stuff, which was also neat.
Yeah.
That extra bit. But let's see what Google's got for us. Hey, Google, roll me a D20.
Rolling a die with 20 faces. The result is 5.
Super, but not super powered. So this is where we talk about heroes that are, pretty awesome. Batman style heroes, but don't they're super, but they don't have any kind of special abilities or anything like that. And we left it open to where we could discuss villains or heroes and stuff like that. So since this topic was actually brought up by our good co-host Damien, let's let him start it off as the first to give a super but not super powered.
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard
Of Oz.
of Oz, the actual wizard.
All right, that was completely unexpected.
That was explain.
Well, he has this persona, all
Uh-huh.
right? And it's like he's this all-powerful being, okay? Mm-hmm. And when Dorothy and the Lion and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, they finally get to the city and they go to the audience.
I'm starting to secretly look up a name of a character, like, what's her name? Go ahead. Yeah.
And they get to the audience chamber with him, and there's this huge talking head that's screaming at him and flames everywhere and all that. And then the little dog runs around and pulls the curtain, and there's a fat dude sitting back there talking into a microphone.
Ignore
All
the
right.
man behind the curtain.
Exactly. So he had this huge persona of being all powerful, and yet he was just a man that knew how to manipulate things from behind the curtain.
Skill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
I lost both you mugs. Didn't I?
that is that's great. It was not something I would have thought of, but it is because he gave off the persona. He was talked about. Everybody knew about the wizard. That's why we got to go see the wizard. And yeah, he's this bigger than life character, but he's just a normal Joe.
He's a dude behind a curtain.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he is.
All right, I'm ready. I actually had it from the beginning, but I didn't want to mess up the name.
Well, I mean, on this one, I think we're just going to talk about this one guy.
Oh,
first,
just Wizard
and
of
then
Oz. Oh, all right.
Yeah, this one will stay up on there. It'll be one of those repeating ones, sort of like the sort of like our superpower discussions, superpower highlights. So this time it is the Wizard of Oz.
Well,
You got anything else
especially
to
if
say?
you bring in the other movie where they actually, they put out a few years back a movie where they kind of went in and showed the wizard when he got to Oz. That even was impressive to me just because he's a trickster. Mm-hmm. He pretends to have magic powers, and he uses these tricks to fool all these magical beings. And I'm just like, you became the most influential person in a world full of mystical creatures.
Yeah.
And you don't know crap. And that's just awesome. Mm-hmm. Because it shows that, this guy is insightful, intellectual, and everyone else is stupid.
Yeah.
And you can have all the magic in the world, but if you're all idiots, it doesn't matter if somebody with a little bit of common sense and a good life rolls up.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean it was well done. It has brought a reference that is so commonly referenced to the populace with the ignore the man behind the curtain,
And a horse of a different color.
And so, I mean, with so many, with such an iconic character for somebody who is just a normal guy, that is a perfect candidate for super, but not superpower.
Hey, let's talk about one of his best tricks that wasn't from the recent movie, the first movie. They all came to him to get something. He didn't give anybody anything. He literally had them all like, oh, yeah. It's like, you've always been brave, lion. Bluff check. Bluff check. You always had a brain scourge roll. Bluff, bluff, bluff. If I like, Tin Man, you clearly have a heart. And Dorothy, where's Glenda? Glenda, yeah, shoes, that's it. The shoe. Wait, she could get out there the whole time? You are you are evil. All right, anyway, yes, I knew the shoes would get you out of here, yeah. Now I'm going to get the hell out of here on my balloon. He didn't do anything for anyone at all. That movie, he was the least useful. There are munchkins that did more to assist than he did. And yet, he pulled it off, and everybody's waving as he's like, oh, that's our great wizard. I'm like, he lied to all of you. Best charlatan ever, man. I love that guy. He pulled, he pulled a Xanatos gambit. Which, by the way, you bastard, that's like one of the guys I want to mention. I hope we roll this again.
I mean, it'll be there, buddy.
Xanatos. He'll be your bag.
But yeah, so there you go. I think that wraps up this episode of Random Encounters. So yeah, keep watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Check us out. We're all over the place.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and down below we have a description with all of our social media. Check that out. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Google+. All the links are down there. You can see some behind-the-scenes stuff, as well as, just whenever we're posting something, we always post to those medias as well. Also, you can look over to the side here, and we'll have some links to some other videos you might want to check out, as well as below you'll see the Dicejunkies icon where you can click to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.